Namaskar and welcome to this exciting episode of Sattology, Debunking Mythology. Sattology means science of truth or study of truth. Opposite of that is mythology, which means science or study of fake lie or imagination. Histories such as Ramayana and Mahabharata, I have been proving, traveling, and shloka by shloka, we have been proving that everything Ramayana had a global spread. But before you try to understand Ramayana and Mahabharata, it is important to understand the basic concepts right. And the basic concepts you cannot understand by just reading books, you may get confused. So we have a very special course, 12x Debunking Mythology course, which you can join. And for the yogis in the USA, we have launching a 12x Yoga Excellence course, which will be also available from next week onwards. And you can join that as well. In addition to that, we have various programs. Everydaychant.com is running for last 17 years. And we are many thousands of Americans join this program, and it is becoming a huge success post COVID as well. I thought after COVID everything will be dying out, but it is becoming a huge success. Do join that for that also. Follow us on Telegram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and I can promise you shortly after 6 months I will be also on Twitter. Right now, only Satology is on Twitter. So without delay, I have a very special guest today, very special, very respected. I personally have very high regards for him. He's a very dharmic person and he coined the term, he always says it, Ganesh Icha. So you know who I'm talking about. So let us welcome Sri RVS Mani.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have sung a lot of praises for me. I'm sure Ganesha Icha, I should be able to stand up to that.
So very interesting thing is like people, first of all, I would like to, before I come to the main topic today, which we have discussed before, there is a very concerted program by some people who deliberately spread hate against Devi Devta. In fact, they're coming on the public social media and saying that forget about all the Devi Devta and just worship someone else. So, like these kind of people, and you and I know that Yagya is done only with the Devi Devta, for Devi Devta, because Vishnu doesn't accept anything. So Devi Devta is the one who accepts the Yagya, and through them it reaches Vishnu. So can you just clarify how this statement is actually harming the dharmic people who have faith in Ramayana and Mahabharata, and Ramayana and Mahabharata is filled with Yagya for Devi Devta?
See, Yagya means the dedication, in a sort of commitment, Yagya. Basically, Shraddha, Vishwasa, Rupino. One is the belief and the delegation are very, very essential for Yagya. And other things about Yagya is Anyadya Shuklam. Your intention should be clean. Yada Shaktitva. Whatever is within your means, do the Yagya within that means. You don't have to, if you have only 10,000 rupees or $10,000, you don't have to borrow and go beyond your means. These are all certain rules of Yagya. And Yevanya Dhyaya Dharma should be in the furtherance of Dharma, the furtherance of order. It should not be to create a disorder. And fourth is Anyadhyaya, Yevanya Dhyaya, Aranyadayi. It should be in consonance with the nature, rules of nature, the laws of nature which are in vogue. So these are all the four precise on which the Dharma Yagya happens. Vishnu, Shiva, whatever it is. I have told you about the entire process of Vishnu. Vishnu is known as I'll tell you what it is. Vasu means Bhumi. Vasu means earth. And Vasusya Deva, Vasunam Deva is Vishnu. That is, he is the Lord of the earth. He is the Lord of earth means the entire life cycle and non-living things are also maintenance, the sustenance. People are talking of all sorts of climatic development and this, that, land and all this. All these are basically the manifestation of Vishnu. To sustain, to maintain, to centralize everything, the common Vishnu is a process of maintenance of Vishnu, the earth, the mother earth. And earth is the resource. For maintenance, for sustenance, the resource required is the sampatti, resources. That is the power required. That is the shakti required. We require the power of resources to be sustaining the world. So you have to see it in that perspective. the manifestation of Vishnu and his consort. The consort means it is coming from the word consortium. They partner each other. That means the process of maintenance, the commensurately partner, it has to be resources. Without resources or anything, you cannot sustain or maintain the world. Even for living also, you require food, you require clothing, you require shelter, everything comes from again Bhumi. That is the reason there is a Bhu Suktam. For example, if Ramayana, as your friend pointed out, if Ramayana is about the Maryada Purushottam, in Vedas it is known as Purusha Sukta. Ramayana, Rama took the avatar to reinforce the Purusha Sukta. Purusha Sukta means the code of conduct. Sukta means codes. Code of conduct for the best way of living. How every response should be acted upon, how the responses should be commensurate, and the righteous response. Not just response. The right response has to be righteous in furtherance of the Dharma, in harmony with the nature. That is Purusha Sukta. And what is the Bhu Sukta is the commensurate power Yagya. Bhu Sukta, Bhu means Bhumi, Bhumi means Sita. So Rama represents the Maryada Purushottam, Bhu Sukta, Bhu represents the Sita, his consort. That is the way it has to be understood. And that is the reason I say if Narayana was the operational management expert, Narayana Sukta, on how we deal with that, that is what has been captured in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita gives you the life management tools. And it is basically all the Vedas abridged into one. If Rama, he talks about the Karma Yoga, how the karma has to be very, very important, everything, Yadyada, Sharvishtatar, Kashchit Shanamapi, Vidya, Jatasya, so many 3.4, 3.21, 3.5, everything is there. Beautifully explained. And what is the requirement? When you do the work, you require resources to do the work. And that is the reason it is known as Sri Sukta. Sri is Lakshmi. So it is Purusha Sukta and Bhu Sukta together. Similarly, Narayana Sukta and Sri Sukta together. You have to go back to the Vedas, and then the Lord has to manifest itself in a shape to reinforce and live by example what is the righteous response for each of the challenges. See, Rama per se had a lot of challenges in his life. The Ramayana, the story of Rama, it had a lot of challenges. In fact, his life was the most challenging. When he got married, he lost his kingdom. When he lost his home. When he got his home back, he lost his wife. You see it in the timeline. But still, his responses were always righteous, in spite of the most difficult challenges of living for 14 years, for so many other challenges, his responses were always right. And that is what is the most important thing. We have to follow that. And that is why he had to take an avatar, tell the humanity, tell the Yuga that, look, this is the way one should live. And for him, the Bhumi, why Sita is known as the, in spite of all the challenges her husband faced, she stood rock solid like we are standing on the earth. Earth doesn't give away. Sarva Siddhyaya Dhimahe. Dhanurdharaya Sarva Siddhyaya Dhimahe Tanno Dhara Prajotayat. So that is the way it is Dharini. Sanno Dhara Prajotayat Dharini. So that is what is Dhara. That is what is Dharini. That is what is Siddhi. And that is the way Ramayana and Sita is correlated as the person to deliver, to stand by the best righteous codes to reactions, responses, etc. You require power like earth, rock solid. It is more rock solid. And power like earth, and the earth is the mother of all resources. So that is how Ramayana and this Bhu Sukta are relevant. That is why this Narayana Sukta and Sri Sukta are explained to you. It tells you a perspective in life. It gives you a perspective, how to understand the Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is an eternal order. We have already done this. We have done the how it is eternal order. On several occasions, I have explained on this. But these are all very, very relevant to you. I'm giving you a very, very rough picture of what is relevant to you. What is Ramayana trying to signify? The most righteous response, because that is what is prescribed in the Purusha Sutta. Most righteous response, nothing less than that. Any response which is not righteous, which is not in harmony with the nature, dilutes. Yes.
So one of the, in the Bhagavad Puran, in the fifth skand, people can read 8th chapter to 18th chapter, they can read those chapters. And in that, very clearly, when the prayers of Jambudweep happens, so the prayer to Lakshmi is there. So where Lakshmi now herself is explaining herself to her student. And she says that when people worship me, I always stay on the chest of Narayan. But when people worship me away from Narayan, then I become Durga. I become the cause of their destruction.
Destruction.
Now,
that is what I said. Shankaraya cha Maheskaraya. Shankaroti ti Shankaraya. For goodness, Shankara has to be there. If it is not there, if the power is let loose without any purpose, without any good deeds being following for things other than the good deeds, it is the drape antasaspate daridram nilalohita. That is how it comes.
We have to clarify the good deeds also. Good deeds means Purushartha or the Purusha Shukta, working as per Purusha Shukta. That is good deeds.
Right.
Otherwise the deeds can be tamasic also. Can be
tamasic also.
So you have to have the in the Sattva Guna, your deeds should be there.
Sattva Guna, right. And what are all the certain checklist is, see, when the Pani Grahana of Rama with Sita is depicted, Janaka, Sita's mother is known as Sunayana. They offer Sita to Rama, saying that Yam Sita Mamasuta Saha Dharma Charita. Dharma Charita means she will sustain the order. That's very beautifully said. She will sustain the order.
Absolutely. Very beautifully said.
And it is not for anything like procreation, it is for order, and that is the order. She has to sustain and further the order of the Sanatana.
Exactly.
Oh, that is precisely, exactly. Please, you wanted to say something.
I want to add there, you made a very good point. It is in line with the Prakriti, in line with the Brahman, in line with the harmony, Sura, in line with Sura. Exactly. So, it has to be in harmony. You cannot disturb the harmony. Otherwise, it creates Utpat.
Utpat, exactly.
Yeah, good. Go ahead.
Yeah, that is the reason Lakshmi is also Prakriti, you said. Anything which we have inherited by virtue of Sanatana, by the mother nature, the first name of Lakshmi is Prakriti. Prakriti namaha. First is the Prakriti, second is the Vikriti. Vikriti is diversity. So we have to understand that. That is how beautifully it is said. When you said Lakshmi without Narayana, it is something like Shakti without Shiva. And if I am given brute power and with no objective and total autonomy, and I can destroy the Dharma, I can destroy the orders, I can destroy the systems, then it could be catastrophic. That is the reason in Bhagavad Gita, ultimately what he says, Paritranaya sadhunaya vinashaya cha duskrita. When they are going to be destroyed, when there is a threat of their destruction, Dharma sanstapana, so that to re-establish the order, to recalibrate the entire processes. Shambhavami yuge yuge. I come, I take birth, I get into the act of somebody who is already there. Act as Vishnu, act as Narayana. That is the beauty of this.
That's the original law and order.
Oh, that is the original law and order. When law and order are not only law and order, even the systems, certain systems, processes, everything, the Dharma is challenged. Every yuga, every time it has come, it comes. Somebody or the other will come and set it right.
That's right.
At what stage he comes, that is what this thing is there. So why we did it was, see, practically people are trivializing our Hindu gods and goddesses. We have an Indian politician.
It's a huge campaign. it's not only India, it's a huge campaign. Like I was in South America. Now they are the worshipping Surya, they're worshipping Chandra, they're worshipping Yamaraj, Pachakamak. They call it
No,
Pachakamak,
yeah.
Yamaraj. Now,
Yamara, Yamaya Dharma Raja is a Dharma Raja.
yes,
He's
he's
the
the
Lord
son
of
of
Dharma.
Surya, Vivaswan.
Surya, exactly. And Surya is the timer.
Right.
All the entire solar system determines the time. Otherwise, we do not have a calibrated time. We would not know what is right and wrong.
Yeah.
So, and Yamaya Dharma Raja. So, when Yamaya is there, Yama is very important. And he is a person who is on a 24/7 duty. When your call has come, whether it is 2 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he is going to pick you up.
Right.
So Yama is a very, very important element of the Indian pantheon.
Actually, Chhat Puja is going on, and I want to wish all the people from Bihar, especially, and anyone, actually, the whole world should celebrate Chhat Puja. It is the worship of the most important deity, Deva,
Right.
for in our life.
You know, in Tamil Nadu and in southern parts of the country, Chhat Puja is worshipped as Skanda Shashti, that is the Subramanya, that is the Lord of Subramanya, the Lord of systems. He is a Brahmanya. We have explained about Subramanya in an earlier conversation. What I mean to say is, there also, in the Aruna Prashna also, the Subramanya's obeisance comes. Nidrushraista Samayudai Kalai Haraidra Ramanai Indraya Hisasaya Agni Viprash Vachana. You see, Kalai Haraidra Ramanai Agni Vibrash, Agni is another element. Vayushveta Sikadrika hai, Samvatsaro, time, all these things come. So it is also closely related to Chhat Puja in the northern part of the country, on the banks of river Ganges and river Gandak, very important to Sita Mata's hometown. Gandak river flows in there, and Sarayu in the Rama and Sita. On all these banks, there used to be Chhat Puja in the ancient times. I do not know how we lost the civilization. And in the southern part of the country, it was in Lord Muruga, it was in the small hills and all.
The entire South America has sun temples everywhere.
Right.
And one of the next videos is coming out on the Surya temple. The biggest Surya temple in Peru is going to come out on our channel.
Right. And Rama is a Surya Vanshi.
Exactly. Exactly.
See the connection. Rama is a Surya Vanshi. He comes right from the Surya.
Yeah.
So
the entire South America, North American natives worship Surya as the principal Deva. Now coming to the coins now, because I was seeing the Mahabharata era coins, and I was seeing the coins of all the kings immediately after the Mahabharata era, and even till the time of Chola. Now, if you see the coins, then the images on the coins. So in the time of Mahabharata era, Nishka, the symbol on the coin was was cow, a hull, what do you call it? When you make the English doesn't have a equivalent word for that. And then it also had the symbol of palm trees. This was the time of Mahabharata. Now, you all know that Pandavas were very close to Bhagavan Krishna. They did not put Krishna's picture on the image on the coin, because coin can be put anywhere, can be thrown anywhere.
Right.
And with due respect to that, the symbols were used which are meant for prosperity. Because see, when you talk about Vishnu, the prosperity symbols of Vishnu are the symbols on his lotus feet also. Like for example, on the tala of Krishna's feet, the temple, the sign of chakra, sign of Padma,
Garud, Shangha Chakra, Gada, Gaja.
That is in the hands. That is in the hands, but on the feet also he has symbols. So when he
Vishnu
walks
Pada.
Vishnu Pada. So the symbols are used to denote him.
Right.
But nowhere they use the image out of deep respect. But
absolutely right.
So like even in the bank notes nowadays, we have put ordinary mortal men. Ideally, the symbols should be made of for the cow, because cow denotes prosperity. Bull denotes dharma. Palm trees denote.
Hull also denotes dharma, which is used in farming.
Farming.
Because it comes from the bhoo. Everything are about bhoo. And incidentally, I'm just going back on 1 minute on the same conversation.
Sure.
Yeah, in Vishnu Sahasranama, 162nd Ramavali is Yama. And in that place, it says Yama is also a manifestation of Vishnu. And it says he is Yama, Vishnu as the administrator manifests himself as Yama. Otherwise, there will be catastrophe if the population does not reduce. So this I wanted to just interject. I just recalled it in one moment. But again, what you said is right. These symbols which make you work towards the furtherance of order, they are not just symbols, cow or a hala, or they are not symbols, or Prithvi or whatever it. They are what is going to sustain. See, everybody is talking of climatic change, sustainable world. But this is what is sustainable. They are the symbols of sustainability.
Real symbols.
Real, true, natural symbols of sustainability. And it has been there from time immemorial. We do not know when it started. It will continue to be there till time Adi, Anadi, Ananta. Exactly. It has got no beginning, no end. So that is what has to be there. Right, please.
That means the people during the Mahabharata period and the Ramayana period were more realistic than most of us.
Right.
Because they valued the immediate avenues of prosperity.
They valued the real elements of prosperity.
Correct.
They were the elements of prosperity. All other things which have been downstream later on, over a period of generation after generation after generation, and the innovation and all. Can they replace those symbols? Can they replace those symbols? Can they form something out of the air? Can the food come out somewhere else other than the air? Either as a primary source or a secondary source or a tertiary source. Nothing can come out of air. Earth is a very important element. Earth also is a Lakshmi.
True. Sita is the thing which is created by the hull.
Right. So that is what is that. Can anybody produce food from either a primary source or a secondary or a tertiary or whatever source? Correct. Without using anything from the earth, nothing can be created.
Nothing can be done.
And without food, you cannot live. Nothing can come out of that. Even as a Dhanamantri Vishnu Yoga, Dhanamantri Saroshi was there, Vishnu was there. There also, everything, all the medicines over there originate to the earth.
True. So now, today's politicians who have no knowledge about Dharma, first of all, they ignore Devi Devta. But for political expediency, they want to put the images of our revered Devta and Devis on where they can be grossly disrespected, because you can throw like what to call them, like they are trying to impress Hindus nowadays because Sanatan Dharma is on the rise. So they want to impress Hindus and disrespect the symbols of Sanatan Dharma. What do you have to say on their intellect first before we talk about the actual symbols?
See, it is intellect or intent, because my observation is, it is not that because a person who has been saying that my mother told me in the dream that Ram temple in place of Ram will not stay in all sorts of nonsensical statements he have made for about 8 to 10 years, ever since he came into politics. Today he comes up and says, let us put Lakshmi and Ganesha. What does it mean? It is purely for I told you, Anyadya Shuklam. The objective, the purpose should be clean. Here that is not clean, and that is the reason it is a mischief. It is a mischief because we need to educate our people on the symbols of prosperity, as you said, the hala, the cow, etc., the earth, etc. And that is the way we can call out. The purpose I agreed to do this, we mutually agreed to do this only to educate the people that what are the purpose of prosperity. Bring that into it. There will be prosperity, there will be sustainable development without any challenges to climatic change and all sorts of things happen. But that is, see, what they are doing is parali burning. Parali burning is again burning the earth, which is disrespect to the Bhumata. This is what they are doing. The parali burning is not just it is not that it has come out today, it has come out only last 4 or 5 years or 6 years. have written a proper essay on this, and it is available in my book called When Money Writes, Garuda publication, about Parali burning, how sources inimical to the Hindu concepts, sources inimical to the Indian nationhood are triggering this Parali burning, because Parali burning was never in the history. It could be used in several other uses, but they are not looking at it deliberately. And they are crying wolf over this cost involved and all that. In sustainable development model, as our Prime Minister Modi ji has also said, reuse, retrofit. There are several other ways of disposing of this parali, but deliberately they are not doing it to insinuate against the government, insinuate against the culture, insinuate and play a level of victimhood. And the same party which is not controlling, which is encouraging parali burning, who are burning the Bhumata, which is a manifestation of Lakshmi, are now saying that let us put currency, Lakshmi in the currency note, which will be carried in leather wallets, kept in buttocks, which are all very profane areas, profane activities, and that should be summarily dismissed. And not only that, this mischief should be, it's mischief. It is not about ignorance. It is a mischief, deliberate mischief, and which should be exposed. That is what is my take on this. Anything?
No, you have made a very valid point, because it's a gross disrespect to the core symbols of Sanatan Dharma, Lakshmi and Vishnu, and which is a very bad thing. Even in the Ram Rajya, Bhagwan Ram's Ram Rajya, the symbols of Dharma were mentioned on the coins, because Nishk was the currency on the coins, and the bull and the cow were the main symbols. And that's why you'll find the bull symbol in Mesopotamia, bull symbol you'll find in all the ancient coins discovered in even Russia, which is Uttarkuru, and which is even found in other places. Astachal is Europe, and there also they find the same thing. See, you correctly said it's a political expediency, and they want to prove a point to actually it has become a fashion to irritate dharmic followers. And they think that by irritating them, they can get some more votes. And this is what is the main reason. Now, in countries like South America, the Vatican Church, Catholicism, regularly denigrates such symbols by calling them pagan worship. Now I'm connecting the two together. Are these people working in the hands of the such institutions like Vatican to undermine the original culture of Sanatan Dharma?
There are adequate signs that there is an unholy coalition or an unholy collaboration, a dominant unholy collaboration of these type of things happening. Because it cannot be simply that they are talking in sync. When they call it as pagan worship, and here it is called, first they burn the parali and thereafter come back to say that, look, we want Lakshmi and this thing in the coins, etc., which has got the signs of prosperity, the original signs of property like the nish or the cow or whatever it is. Why that cannot be brought in the currency notes? First thing is the deification of individuals who have, I do not know, I make no value judgment of the contribution of the Mahatma Gandhi or whatever it is, but certainly it cannot be more than what the symbols of nature are. So that should be replaced with the symbols of nature like the cow, the bull, the nish, the earth, etc. And that would only drive the prosperity. That is one part of the story. But as you said, there is a dominant coalition which is trying to deride the original civilizational signs to ensure that it is replaced by their own Abrahamic agenda. So that is what is agitating it, and that is why all these things are working in a synchronized manner. They are all working in a synchronized manner. They are not working one like from what you said in South Africa, in South America, and what is happening in India. There could be a underground connect between the two. We do not know what is the conspiracy, but this has come out. Now it is established that there was a deliberate attempt to, because 10 days back, his own gentleman called one Italia was abusing all Indian all Sanatani signs and gods. Today, the party leader says, no, bring these things. Was it a continuation of that abuse? Was it a continuation of that abuse? I do not know. But ancient kingdoms, as you said, had always been, nobody has put a sign of a god or a goddess into that. They have always put this, as you said, the natural signs like the cow. Cow, yes, I have seen many ancient coins. There will be many numismatics experts who could throw more light on the different coins of those times. But certainly, it is a design, it is a coalition, it is a collaboration effort to denigrate all the natural civilizational elements and signs, how they should be done. It is happening. There's no doubt about it.
You wrote a very beautiful book called Deception. I've got a handle on the book now. I've got the book.
Yeah.
And very beautifully written. And you have not taken anybody's names, but you've written an allegorical story, but the real story.
Right.
So one of the things which is this a grand deception which people are planning? Because normally what happens is, like if you study Mahabharata, and one of my books is there, Narad, the Making of a Statesman, the enemy infiltrates the social fabric through religious bodies. That is the classical way of introduction. Like, for example, most of the Christianism followers, they infiltrate the Vedic society by wearing saffron clothes in South India, even today. And
Right.
that they call it inculturation. So now, is the inculturation happening in the political circles also with these kind of expedient politicians who like to who in the to create their own unique demagogue identity? They want to create a some kind of disturbance, utpat, in the society by intentionally engaging in such kind of activities.
Indeed, you have put it, but the question is whether they want to become a demigod or they are only pawns in the hands of somebody handlers. That is one question which we should seek answers for.
No, I said
Otherwise,
demagogues. I said demagogues.
demagogues. You said the demagogues. So whether they want to become demagogues or they are simply actors acting on somebody's behalf from somewhere else. As it said, because the synchronization shows that there will be demagogues like this inculcating into the Peruvian society or Argentinian society or a Chilean society. That will also be happening, or Nicaraguan society. Nicaragua faced a lot of problems for several years. So that is why my question is whether these type of things are happening in sync with the entire world order to disturb, to eradicate. See, basically, some gentleman said, a recently elected president of Congress party said that this party comes, there will be more Sanatana. Can anybody live without Sanatana? That is the natural or eternal order. So the understanding of Sanatana Dharma has to be given. The Sanatana Dharma is same whether it is in Peru, whether it is in Brazil, whether it is in India, whether it is in Mesopotamia, whether it is in Mongolia. It is the eternal order. That is the eternal order which we have inherited, and we should be made conscious to that eternal order. And that is what I am trying to perpetuate. Indeed, you said that in southern part of India, many people are inculturing and infiltrating into that. That needs to be addressed. But that can be addressed only by enlightening the present followers of Sanatana Dharma. Everybody is a follower of Sanatana Dharma by this thing. But the present people who are really attached to the Sanatani causes, they should be first enlightened about the entire theme of Sanatana Dharma. Perhaps when you take it forward, they will be able to disseminate the original theme of Sanatana Dharma being eternal order, and also expose and call out these inculturists and the infiltrators, so that we come to, so that they stand apart, so that there is a dissuasion for them. There is no disincentive for them to be inculturing themselves and infiltrating into our order. That is what we could perhaps be doing.
One question which comes to the mind is, you gave a solution also what we should do. So how can people be like, this is something, a major statement, and political parties will make the statements. We are not political parties, will make a statement. But there is a uniform theme across all sides of the parties, whether it's a left or right. We are dharmic people, we are in the middle. So, but we are not neither left nor right. So when we see both the left and right colluding on the same aspect, like for example, some people say Devi Devta should not be worshipped. and they claim to be the Hindu forces. And the second one, like these people, they're using a political expediency on somebody else's agenda
Right.
to actually put the symbols on the notes, which will go in the back pockets, and wherever they'll be thrown in the garbage, burnt, whatever things can happen with the notes. Now, but the agenda is the same
Right.
if you look at it.
See, from on my side, our common friend is there, Dr. Mahendra. I have given him certain things, certain literature, which my father had written out, certain experiences I have shared, certain things, and he is coming out, trying to come out with some details of what are all these Sanatani practices and how they are relevant and how they should be done. He is coming out in the local Hindi language because that is where the masses of Hindu Sanatana followers fall. I'm waiting for him. I'm sure, and from my level also, I have been, whenever whomsoever comes to meet me, I explain the theme of Sanatana Dharma in the way it should be presented to them. I also tell them that try to take your son physics, 8th class physics in Sanatani style. Maybe he will become an innovator. Maybe he will understand much better than what Galileo and Newton. I'm not underwriting them. They only discovered what was already existent. But the question is whether do we say that only that was invented? No, it was discovered because it was already happening earlier. Sanatana forces had said Ratanvani Pradhanyam about the optimization, about the Aisha, like the uniform motion. Like there are so many other. If you read the Sanatana and if it somebody is able to express it, how the uniform motion, about the momentum, about the mass into velocity, the action, Shakti, how the Shakti is the power of doing work done is against Shiva. Like that, there are certain parameters. I tried. Work done is Shiva, and the why Shakti, the capacity to do work is named as power. That is energy. That is why Shiva Shakti continuum comes. All these things I try to, as far as possible, I try to explain it to children, whomsoever comes to my house. But the parents have also to be a little patient with that because too much of deracination has taken place. To replace that, even the parents also need to be given a lesson on that.
No,
So,
actually, parents need to be trained more than the children, because then
right,
parents can teach their children. The best
right.
gurus are the parents. Nobody can replace them.
First guru is always the mother.
Mother, that's right.
First guru is always the mother. So we should always capture
Vyasdev
the
has said
mother.
it. So Vyasdev has said it. So it's an axiomatic line. The first guru
Right,
is the mother.
right.
Anyone else comes after that.
Yes, yes.
And the so one last question on this series now, in this topic only. So what should the now these are very foolish suggestions and politically expedient suggestions on all sides of the aisle. We are in the middle. We have to hear both of them. Like we have to hear the left, we
Right.
have to hear the right. And both of them are actually colluding against Sanatan Dharma. Both of them. Some people, and the middle path, which is the majority path, not the every, is the majority is the middle. And the we have the least voice in anywhere. We don't have the voice in the opposition. We don't have the voice in the so-called pro-government people. So what is the how our voices are being heard where we are when we are not being correctly represented? Like when we say the core symbols need to be represented on everything, like agriculture is the core symbol, soil is the core symbol, water is the core symbol, sun, moon, stars are the core symbol, because these are everybody can associate with them, everybody can relate to them, or everybody appreciates sunrise, sunsets, moonrise, moonset. People appreciate all these things. So now tell me, the how do the middle path, people on the middle path or the dharmic world, which are in the middle world, how can they express their agony and displeasure with both the left and the right? Because both of them are actually colluding in a way.
Right, perfectly right. They are doing it for their own political purposes. But basically, as you said, I am doing it, Mahindra is doing it, there are a few other people who are trying to do it. But there are certain people who call themselves the Guru of Sanatana, they market themselves well, and they have already replaced you and me as a propagator of Sanatana. However, right or wrong, I am not making any value judgment of that. And they are already there. They have taken a sort of a leadership as a consequence to that. To what extent they are helping the cause and to what extent they are damaging the cause, I have no idea about it. But certainly they are doing it. Positive outcomes are coming. There is awareness about all these things which are coming out, but there is a sort of a mithya also, which is also getting into the heads of the people. So that is what actually I have started this movement, Abhiyan. I have my friend Mahendra is with me, some other few people, close people who are in the sync with my concept of Sanatana are trying to do it. Beyond that, let us say I really earnestly, Ganesha Icha, my own efforts will be better and my own propaganda target will be much larger so that the truth of Sanatana, the entire essence of Sanatana is carried over to the masses. That is what is my objective. Ganesha
So,
Anand.
all success to you, and all success to all the people who are watching the show and who are really concerned about all these things. And thank you for
Ganesha
throwing
Icha.
light on these topics. And for all the viewers, please like, share, subscribe, and let us know your feedback. That feedback is very important to us. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Ganesha Icha.
Ganesh.
Ganesha.